Good morning, my brothers and sisters. On this episode number 188 of the Good Morning Guys podcast, thank you so much for joining us on this fine morning, afternoon, evening, or night as we continue discussing the game of life amidst the other games we love to watch and to play. I am one of your four hosts, the Brazilian Mountaineer and Transition Ninja, who definitely does not like anchovies. Lucas Swisher. Also with me, the judge, the jury, and Crenchi of Baby's first rock climbing walls in WWE 2K Forever, and also likes to put the fun in F1, Patrick Novosel.
Did you call me a Frenchie? What was that?
No,
Crunchy?
Crenchi. It's a believer, actually.
Oh, okay.
Portuguese.
No, I'm the Frenchie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Marc's the Frenchie. You're the Crenchi, Patrick.
Okay.
Yep. On his left and my right, the tarnished beast of the East who wishes to never take a shower again and can make you laugh in 3 words or less or your money back. Meu filho, Ronnie Johantis.
I don't understand the shower part. Oh, you're talking about in a perfect world, but that's the thing you would skip.
Yeah.
You
maybe.
do remember everything, don't you?
I might have listened. I might have taken notes.
Well, hello, everybody.
I heard everything you guys said about me.
He knows what I'm thinking.
And we're glad you heard all of it.
That's right. That's what it was meant to be, heard. And last but certainly not least, you could tell I missed a week last week, the final member of the GMG quadfecta who's got music in his heart, Hyrule on his brain, computer notifications in our ears, and a Bushusheu thanks to La Carreta, Marc Boucher.
Bushusheu.
That's right, buddy.
Bushusheu Boucher.
Bushusheu Boucher. Oh, that's perfect. I never even connected that. Marc Bushusheu Boucher. I love it. It's automatic win. Bushusheu is full stomach, just so you know, in the Northeast.
Wow.
I inserted in all your names a different phrase that is commonly used in the Northeast, where I spent this last week, and the reason I wasn't on the podcast.
By the way, the WhatsApp is not on currently. Just
Hey! I'll be honest, there's a couple times I looked at my phone, I was like, did I get a notification? Did something come through? What's going on? There wasn't anything there. Oh, that's good stuff. But hey,
Losing my mind.
at the top of the hour, I want to give a slow clap to Ronnie for his topic transition last week and the best worst Cliff Notes inspired intro ever. It was magical. It was magical to behold.
I really did find out like right before. I mean, I didn't remember any of the things. So, referencing him back to the last episode, I feel like was just just made sense.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Sure.
What didn't make sense is why Patrick called me a dinosaur. So
Did I
no
call you
claps.
a dinosaur?
No claps for him.
Man,
Your
I feel like we
favorite
cut him up
dinosaur.
last
You're
week,
like,
and now we would deserve this.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did.
yeah, you're like favorite dinosaur, Lucas.
that was Mark's favorite dinosaur. Wrong answers only, right?
No claps for Patrick. No claps for
Dang
Patrick.
it! I'm not no clap.
He's got a list that he's just going down and screen.
I do. I told you. I took notes. I was like, all right. That's how you feel, huh? We'll see about that. No, I will give you a little golf clap for realizing and pointing out that I'm the first GMG guy that you visited out of all the GMG co-hosts. So you've never gone to visit Marc nor Ronnie Johantis, who lives 30 minutes away from you. I thought that was pretty funny. So
Technically, Marc and Pat did go to my house one time.
oh,
Yeah,
that's
we
true.
visited.
They did, yeah.
But he didn't
was
go
a-
by himself.
That was
He
like
had to have
100 years
Marc-
ago, though.
He had to have Marc drag him there.
That's true. He was scared.
He was.
Scared.
He was very scared. Very scared.
Fearful for my life.
I was wondering why Marc walked in with a sword.
Yeah.
That's my trusty sword. I carry that with me everywhere. Especially
Trusty
dangerous
sword.
situations.
Yeah. As you should. Well,
As
guys,
is tradition.
I did miss you last week, and it was fun. It's always fun to be kind of the fly on the wall and listen to the show. Not that people that listen to our show are flies on the wall, but that made it worse once I said it out loud than when I was thinking in my head.
Keep
But yeah, just digging
Stuffed
that
the
hole.
landing, though.
I did right. Yeah, you guys mind if I share a little bit about my adventures last week?
Share
catch
it
you up
up.
on what you've been missing since it's
I w-
what's new news.
I will say, without you though, there's something missing, and it's somebody to talk during those periods where the three of us don't have anything to say. So it's weird when you're not here. I feel like we could be replaced, but when you're not here,
It's like, hey, where's the random comment that is kind of funny but kind of uncomfortable?
oh, you're kind of always there to scoop it up when we leave you just absolutely nothing but dead air.
Yeah, it's the
And nobody
best.
was there for that last week.
I gotcha. Well, you edited really well then, because I didn't even notice. I thought you guys did a great job all together. The trio, the three amigos.
Thanks.
All the editing I do. Yep.
Thanks.
So good work. Patrick's like, well, there's a minute of dead air. Need to cut that out. What's next? All right. So last week, I went to Northeastern Brazil, which traditionally in the past has been almost desert-like when I've gone to visit it. And this time around, it had, I think, more grass than I have here in Sao Paulo.
Wow.
It's gotten
Like
revolution.
3 blades.
super green. It's crazy. Yeah, 4 blades of grass, actually.
Oh.
Yeah,
Stepping
close.
it up
You're
big time.
You're really close.
Yeah.
But my trip did not start out so good because the night before I had a dream that I had a heart attack. And
Oh.
it was very I woke up like I had a second chance at life. I was like, oh, thank God it wasn't a real heart attack.
So
are
you're
so
like, all
liberating.
right, well, a
Yeah.
second chance of life. You're just like, all right, see ya, family. I'm out of here for a little bit.
Yeah, I get a second chance to live and I'm ditching you. So yeah, we went to the airport, and while we were waiting for our flight, I think it was lunchtime. And so we were looking at the options. There was a Pizza Hut, there was a bakery that had mostly fried stuff, and then I saw a grilled chicken salad, and I'm like, I'm getting that grilled chicken salad because I just had a heart attack last night. So I tried to eat really healthy for that meal, and then after that I totally forgot about my dream. Yeah, it was just a 1 meal issue, and then from there it was no big deal. But I met really cool people on this trip. The purpose of the trip was to help put together an aquaponics system in a city called Pilar. Aquaponics system is pretty much a self-contained system where you have fish and you have plants, and they pretty much feed each other. Not like they hand each other food, but
I was hoping you were
Or
going to
like
say
it,
underground city or underwater city or something like that.
oh
That's
yeah,
what
it's
it
like
sounded
Aquaman. Not
Yeah.
even close. But it's pretty much so you don't have to plant in the ground and maintain, weed a garden or whatever. You just put your seeds in some rocks, and it's on a floating bed of stuff. And then there's fish in another tank, and they just feed each other. It's a really cool process. I was setting it up with my father-in-law, John, and it was really good. There were definitely some struggles. He definitely had a list of materials, and he found one place in a certain city to get them, but at the time when they got the supplies, they weren't able to go to that certain shop, so they had to go to 5 different locations. And it took a whole day. That was not planned to get the ball rolling, but we finally got the ball rolling, so it was really good. And definitely a blessing to be there, to meet a bunch of cool people. 2 of the guys that I met are the Shaw brothers, and one of them, his name is Shirley, Shirely. And within a few minutes of meeting him, he said, it's an English name, right? An American name. I'm like, yeah, Shirley's an American name. He's like, and there are some men that have that name. And I'm like, no, there are not men that have that name. Sorry. He was very disappointed.
He just broke the news right to his face.
I did. I just bust the bubble right in front of him. And I honestly thought about the quote from Airplane where he's like, and don't call me Shirley. I just immediately thought of that joke. And for a second, I was going to explain it in Portuguese. And I'm like, you know what? Not going to translate. So I just kind of giggled to myself and moved on. But he was a really hard worker, super smart guy. His brother is a missionary in that area, Sydney. And I got to hang out a few nights, not just doing ministry with them, but I stayed in their home. And in one of the meals, he shared his favorite hot sauce with me. And I was really excited to try it. He said, this only takes 2 drops to enjoy, 3 drops if you want to light on fire. And I'm like, come on. So I did 2 drops
It's
in my
fed right into the heart attack.
Yeah, I know, right? I'd totally forgotten about my heart attack dream by the time I had this meal. So, unfortunately, they did not work together. They worked against each other. But I tried some hot sauce. I did 2 drops. I was like, okay, I can do 2 drops and mix it in with my pasta and sauce. And I felt the heat a little bit. I was like, this is pretty good. So then I got a second bowl, and I just added 1 drop because there's already like a layer. This was like an oil-based hot sauce. And one thing I learned from oil-based hot sauces is when they get on the container itself, and you touch your arm, your nose, anywhere, it coats that part and it lights it on fire.
Oh my gosh.
All of a sudden, the inside of my arm started to turn red. When I breathed out my nose, some of the sauce had gotten on my mustache and around my nose, and I literally felt like a dragon. Like I was breathing fire, and it did not feel nice. And I didn't know what to do. I was like,
Oh, no.
They were like, eat sugar. And I'm like, okay. I ate sugar, and I was like, my mouth is fine. Like there was no fire in my mouth. It was just the places I had touched. And so I got soap, I got water, I tried to wash it off, nothing. And it burnt literally until I went to sleep. And it wasn't until the next day that I didn't feel any like fire on my nose and arms. It was crazy. Totally crazy.
Just gotta file that under no thanks.
Yep. File that under, I'm like, I'm going to need to use a glove next time to handle your hot sauce, Sydney, because it was bad.
Yeah. If you got to use a glove, I feel like it's probably too hot.
Yeah, for sure. Later on, we did some traveling, went to another city called Lagoa Nova, and it was more of an R&R time to like meet up with people that we had done ministry with in the past, and it was fun up until the return journey back to where we had started. I definitely got a warning from the police in the city there. I was driving.
Now we're talking.
Breaking the law. Breaking
I was
the law.
like, I was driving down the road, being cool, no sudden movements.
What does being cool mean? Just keeping it cool?
Just like, keeping it cool, laid
Keeping it
back,
cool?
kind of, just.
No, not
just
into
Being
any
cool
illegal
sounds like you were
activity.
like hot rodding it out there.
I definitely was not hot rodding. But we came up to like a checkpoint, and pretty much how it goes in these checkpoints. Now, in Brazil, you do not get pulled over by the police. They will just point at you, and like they don't pull you over as in like get behind you and like, wee-oo, turn on the lights and stuff. They will either catch you with a camera, or you'll get like a random ticket in the mail, or they'll be on the side of the road and just point over and say, get over. We need to talk to you. And it was the second thing that happened. Sometimes you can pass through the checkpoint and they'll just kind of nod their head and you're good to go. But this time they pointed the finger. They're like, nope, get over, dude. And I'm like, oh, gosh, here we go. And so pulled over. The guy walks up and he's like, documents, I need to check out to make sure you're legit. You didn't steal this car, whatever. So I gave him the documents, and he walked to the front of the car, walked back, and he's like, your lights aren't on. And I'm like, click. Now they are. I didn't do it soon enough. So he goes over, and for 20 minutes, he writes me a ticket.
20 minutes? Jeez.
20 minutes.
He wrote you a novel. Goodness.
At some point, my father-in-law, John, opened the door and was like, he literally said this, are you writing a letter? What are you doing right now? Like to the police officer. So I'm like holding my hand up over my face. Like, I don't know this man.
You only say that if you know you already have the ticket.
Well, yeah, it's like, there's no getting out of it at this point. So whatever.
Yeah, if you know you
but
got
I'm like,
it.
But I got the ticket. He didn't. So I'm like, I'm just trying to be cool again, and it wasn't really working out. And so
Passenger's the safest one.
father-in-law was giving him a little lip, and I'm like, well, better him than me. And the officer explained, oh, sorry, I wrote it, and then I realized I'd written it wrong, so I wrote it all again. And we're just like, okay. So he walks over and he's like, hey, this is just a warning, not a ticket.
Okay.
And I want to be like, you took 20 minutes to give me a warning. You could have just put my hand out, slapped me on the wrist or something, but that's what he wanted to do, so that's what he did.
Bad, Lucas. Bad.
Yeah, shame on you. So I learned my lesson. I'm going to turn my lights on all the time from now on. Apparently, it's a law on all roads, not just highways or nighttime or whatever. Have lights on all the time.
You have to be on all the time in Brazil.
Apparently, I didn't think that was the case. I thought it was like on bigger highways and that kind of stuff. But so Patrick, when you come to visit me again and I make you drive, turn the lights on.
I'm not driving. No.
Yeah, you are. Next time you come,
happening.
you're driving. Yes, you are.
Nope.
Don't tell him
do
what
it.
to do.
I believe in you. So it was a good trip. That was the most dramatic and crazy it got. I will say there was one meal where they offered what I thought was refried black beans, and it happened to be cooked coagulated cow blood. And I was like, no thanks. So I passed on that one. I just looked at the lady like, what is happening right now?
I don't understand. Why would you
Pass that up?
yeah.
I believe what he was trying to say was the opposite of what you just said.
Well, what's funny is I was explaining to my father-in-law and another guy that was with us. I was like, I think it's black beans. I confirmed with the lady. She's like, oh yeah, it's cooked coagulated blood. I'm just like, ooh, okay. I immediately put it down. It was just like,
the next guy can have more.
Yeah, save that for the next guy that comes in. Exactly. It was fun. Speaking of fun, on the game front, I am playing a few games that are making Patrick's head shake, and so maybe I should not name these names by name. I instead should mention them by rhyming. I can't think of words that rhyme.
Is rhyming always an option?
I guess. I play the game Spray the Tire and Fred sells.
What?
Fred sells a car. It's like a car selling simulator.
Okay. Right.
So confusing now.
And
ladies.
Mateys. Oh, ladies. Okay, that's a little too risque. I was thinking of a pirate game called Mateys.
You know you're playing that game? Gosh.
Yeah, nope. That's a game Patrick's playing. I'm not playing that. Yeah, so I may or may not have stumbled back in a hole accidentally. I don't know how it happened. I don't know how I downloaded these games and updated them and got back into them. But there's trophies involved. I'll try to keep it to a minimum. But just so you know, there may be Malace Mondays, Hades Hump Days, Spire Thlang Thursdays. That's one of them.
Okay,
so keep an eye out.
Mike
I may be playing these games if you want to join us. A game that I also played this past week was Minecraft Dungeons. I've mentioned it before, but I'm bringing it up now because I need Patrick and Ronnie to help my kids and myself. Because we got to the Arch-Illager, and the spoilers for Minecraft Dungeons, if you're not really going to care. But we only fought him one time, and we were definitely unprepared for the two phases.
He's a nightmare.
And he is a nightmare because there's laser beams everywhere. Do you have any suggestions for our poor little souls?
Yes, I
what
do.
to do? All right, let's hear it.
Pat, do you know what? I'll let Pat go ahead and go first if it's the same thing.
Okay, so what I found is when you cross over the bridge to the Arch-Illager, there's like that small little area, and then there's a small bridge, and then a huge area.
Right.
So like if you don't need to go all the way across that small little bridge, there's like a little castle structure, and there's an opening on the bottom right of the screen. You can actually take your character and put it behind the wall on the outside of the castle. So when he throws his lasers, there's like a little ledge that you can stand on. And when he shoots his lasers, you can just stand back there, wait for the lasers to be done, and then move back out, do your arrows, do your whatever, your spells, your and things like that. And then once you need them to cool down, then you go back there. You wait for the enemies or whatever to die or whatever from the lasers, and then you go back out and do it again.
You should just get like a golem and keep respawning them.
Yeah. So you can make sure you have spells where they're range, or you have animals or whatever, pets or whatever they are, and you can launch them out there. And then make sure you have if you have a lot of arrows, and if you have like an enchantment for like the infinity arrows on it, then you can just launch arrows just continuously at them.
So are you saying at the very beginning you would like make a left or a right turn, and that's where you would hide? Because where I was thinking, I don't know if it's the same spot you described, but once you enter in, like the area gets small, then it widens up, and then there's basically the other area that you haven't unlocked yet. But if you go left or right on the far right or far left, there's actually ledges, and you can go behind the wall and everything. It's like a little area you can stand. I don't know if that's the same one.
So it sounds like it's a different part of the final area. but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, just get behind a wall and then wait for the lasers to be.
It would be really hard to beat him straight up.
Oh yeah,
out in the open, like
we tried
he would be a nightmare.
Yeah, we were out in the open. And I was like, where do I even dodge this? It was like grids of lasers. It was.
We were trying to
crazy.
stagger our shields when we first started fighting him, to where when one shield went bad, we could jump into the other person's shield.
Okay.
But that,
Yeah.
I mean, you could use the shield if you go out and attack, but there's really no reason to go out there and just straight up face him.
Right. All right. So smoke and mirrors, use the environment to my advantage. I'm taking notes, mental notes right now. I got it. Thanks. Yeah, that's that was all that's been happening with Minecraft Dungeons, because I looked up like where we were, because we were just doing mission after mission, and I was like, where are we going with this? We were just, there's other games we want to play, but I'd like to reach some completion with Minecraft Dungeon with the kids, and I was like, okay, where's the last level? And then I looked and saw where it was, and I put it on the easiest setting, and we got to.
Yeah, he's still a nightmare on the easy setting.
We melted him. We melted his first phase. It was just like easy. Let's do this, and then he goes all mega black booger on us and laser beams everywhere. It was crazy. So
Mega
yeah,
black booger.
yeah, that's
He just turns into a blob, kind of.
yeah
Gross.
booger. Ew. So yeah, well, because of that, of playing games that shall not be named and Minecraft Dungeons, I actually haven't been playing the Xbox past couple weeks. I think because of the lack of activity with it, my son just looked at me one day. He's like, "Dad, when you die, can I have your Xbox?"
Can you seriously ask that?
Yeah. He just was like, I gotta know what's gonna happen with the Xbox. So I'm like, all right, thanks, son. Love you. Mean it. But you know what? I might not be playing my Xbox, but I know who is. Ronnie. I hear you got an Xbox.
I did.
Yeah.
I got the Xbox.
Tell us more about it.
I really, as far as the Xbox goes, I mean, like the graphics, are good, but I think I went like I didn't play the game on my old Xbox and then the new one, so like I, couldn't really distinguish like the difference between them. I like the controller though. I kind of like how it's a little more shaped like for your hand, a little bit smaller, I think. So I do like the controller better on the new Xbox. But I've pretty much just been playing Elden Ring nonstop. So
Nice.
I think last week I was in the mentality where like I probably won't play by myself, but it's a pretty fun like co-op game. That since has passed. I play by myself all the time. Yes.
Manned up. All right.
I really like the game. It is frustrating at first because you do you keep dying. You just like you go into a battle, you face him almost every time you face a boss, like at the beginning, you're just trying to figure out how he's going to kill you and try to prevent it the next time. And every single time you try to like, just do a little bit better than you did. But once I found in the game, there's an area where you can kind of farm runes or coins or whatever. The system in this game, by the way, is just straight. You buy level ups with your coins. So
Right.
I like that actually. But I found a place to farm them. So I farmed a lot, got my character up over 100. I think he's probably like 120, maybe 125, something like that. I really haven't looked in a little while, but now that the character's more powerful, I can like not die in one hit and I can actually do damage to like bosses and stuff. It is a lot more fun now that my character's good. But it's a grind. Early on, like you can, if you just get to this one spot, it is like a little bit later in the probably like midway through the story, I guess. I'm not sure if that's where if it takes you there then, but we ran to it early. So if you're struggling, my suggestion would be to go to YouTube and type in like rune farm and probably will take you to the same boss that I've been killing. So
did you start playing on your own because you got sick of Eric leading you into traps and killing you?
it was more like I started playing on my own because Eric has an actual life.
Ah, gotcha.
How dare he have a wife and child?
That's
Exactly.
the worst.
Exactly. Young child. It's not like the olden days where I'd be like, hey, I'm jumping on. He'd be like, all right, I'm on. No, it's more, it's kind of like, I would say kind of like Pat does, where like he'll play when like the kids go to bed, or something like that. It's similar situation with Eric. So he'll play later. But I kind of split it up. So when I play with Eric, he just leads me into constant battle, which is fine. Now it was bad at the beginning when I just died repeatedly. But when I play on my own, I'm just like farming experience, like getting weapons and stuff that I want, like certain items. That way I'm just like that much more better off next time. So, but it is honestly, it is a really fun game. I know a lot of people are against Souls games, and I completely understand why. After you lose to a boss 20 times, I can understand why you don't want to go back in a 21st time to try to beat him. That makes sense. However, it just makes me want to beat him more if I lose 20 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So,
because then that 21st time,
that 21st time, I think I saw a TikTok or a GIF or something where the guy had died like, I think it was like 26 times in a row on this boss or whatever, and he was streaming it and he beat it and he still stood up, and like it was this little like young kid or whatever with little skinny arms, and he stood up and he's like flexing over his game and everything. Like it was hilarious. That's exactly what it's like though.
Yeah, man, for sure.
So yeah, I've been having a blast with that game. Honestly, it's been fun. I definitely will beat it now. There's no way that I can not beat it with where I am. So I have no idea how far into the game I am, because it's just seemingly there's still a whole bunch of map I haven't explored. There's bosses basically around every corner. Some of them you don't actually have to fight for the storyline; you just come across them. So, but yeah, it's really a really fun game. The only issue I think I have with it is when you play co-op, the person comes in to your world, you can't use your horse anymore. So,
oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah. I mean, you have to hoof it. And sometimes it's pretty far distance, like for just that regular little sprint run. Like the horse makes it just a breeze. You fly through anything.
Yeah, doing that double and triple jumping, or however many times he can jump.
Yeah, I always think about it because the game is really beautiful, and you're going over these rolling hills and stuff like that. It literally is like Lord of the Rings. Like Eric's just up there, like with the ring, and like I'm just following him by the sword. That's just what it feels like. You're just going on this grand adventure. So, where there's death ahead.
Lots of it.
So, yeah,
lots of it.
Lots of it for sure. Outside of that, I really haven't done very much this week. Last week, I did not mention a show that I watched. It's called The Last Kingdom. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's on Netflix.
No.
It's basically
no.
It's basically about a young English kid, and their kingdom gets raided by Vikings, and the Vikings end up taking him as a slave. And then one of the older Vikings basically found out, hello, Elizabeth just got home. Basically, the older Viking guy that took him kind of adopted him as a son and taught him the ways. And he grew up basically as a Viking, even though he was English. So it's during the time that the Vikings were invading England like nonstop. And it's kind of a drama, really good action. It's not for kids either. There is some seriously brutal events, as you would suspect, when Vikings are involved.
Sure.
Yeah. At first, I did not care for the main character when I first started watching it, and it was just kind of something that was on in the background, and I slowly kind of started to care a little bit. I watched the first 3 seasons. I believe there is 4. I don't know, honestly. I at this point, I don't think I'm going to watch the 4th one, simply because a lot of the main story stuff I feel like ended in season 3. So it's one of those things where it feels like a little bit of a stretch would be season 4. And I'm sure there's these grand things that happen and everything. But I watched 3 seasons. I think I'm probably good with that. But yeah, not a bad show. If you like, action, sword, shields, I mean, it's the fighting and all the stuff, the action is awesome. The storyline, I think, gets pretty good. But I have found that I care less and less for just like drama situations. So, and that's what a lot of it is. It's all these storylines, like breaking, trust with these people because he's, it's a lot of that stuff. And I don't know, like it just doesn't really rope me in.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
How is it compared to the show Vikings?
It's a lot like Vikings.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot like Vikings. That's kind of what drew me to it. And actually, there's a show on Netflix right now that's called, I think it was called Vikings, but it's a different branch. That show is actually the same universe as the Viking show that's on right now, but it's like years down the road. So those names like Ragnar Lothbrok and those are all just into legend and lore now.
Okay.
But that's the same world. It's just way further down the line.
Okay.
But I haven't watched that yet. But I think that's pretty much it for me this week. I do have grievances, but I feel like we could just make that its own thing.
What are your grievances in relation to?
You want me to air them out now? You want to do the airing of grievances?
I need the overarching theme of your grievances. Is it regarded towards music?
No, I would say people.
People here? People here?
They could be.
I mean, I don't know. It's
I mean, if you want to spill it. All right.
I don't know enough information to say yay or nay.
The airing of grievances has commenced.
So
all right, throw it out.
Since we're this far in, you might as well go ahead and go.
Since we're already here.
Yeah, you already said there's grievances.
A couple weeks ago, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be better, and I'm gonna turn on notifications for our group chat. That was a couple weeks ago, and the reason that I turned them off is because on some days there could be 1,000 messages.
Could be.
And today reminded me of why I turned those notifications off. I don't even know how you guys find GIFs that fast. And I have my phone on silent all the time, so it doesn't
Magic
ding.
hands.
It doesn't ding or anything, but what does is my watch that I wear all the time. I get a little bump on my wrist, and the last time I took my watch off and I was like, nope. Not any
your watch.
Not today. So, and basically for the people at home who don't know any of this stuff, it was basically Pat and Luke just messing with each other. I don't know why I called you Luke there.
I figure
if I was shortening
good
Pat,
old Luke.
Pat and Luke here.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't
Luke.
I don't know why I did that.
I mean, it goes with the one syllable name. So
Patrick
Patrick
and Lucas, the members of this show, were just at each other all day today. And actually, it was sometime after, I think, noon where it really picked up steam, because what happened was there was a 3-hour period where I knew there were messages because I felt them all in my watch. And then I took it off. 2 hours went by and I was like, I might as well check that real quick and see what it is since we have the show tonight. 68 messages. That's how many messages in
Rookie
3
numbers.
hours. 68. I went right to the bottom. I answered the question at the top that was directed at me. I don't even know what the 3 hours was about.
That's why we tag you, because that way you know you can sift through all the mess.
But to be fair, I was tagged pretty early in this scenario.
You were.
I don't know. I think I got.
We did business first. Business was first. It was like, hey, Ronnie, you're the only one that needs to do something.
Yeah, I really was, and then the whole Google debacle. That Mark, that's not even on you. I think the 2-factor identification is fine. It doesn't come to me.
I don't think it helped you when Lucas and I were just like obliterating each other in between.
Right
questions.
in the middle of me trying to actually get in touch with Mark.
Stop it!
This whole thing was going down still.
Well, what's
it was?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you first.
No, I'm just kidding. No. What's annoying is like I turned off the thing that was an issue, and yet you still had the issue after the fact. So I don't know what the heck happened.
I don't know either. For everybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, I had to get in to rank my song choices in our Google Drive.
Spoilers.
Well, we all get into the same one, but yeah, I got the hit with a 2-factor. We'll send this code to your phone, and but it wasn't my phone.
That's the best.
Yeah, that was the best. It was really safe. I couldn't even get in. So yeah, basically these two all day. I don't even know where you get GIFs because it doesn't even have them. I don't think on the app. Does it?
Yeah,
it does.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay. And maybe that makes more sense. But still,
Magic
I don't know how
hands.
you guys got anything done today other than bicker at each other. They even got to the point. It was really funny because, well, it wasn't funny at the time. It's funny now. It's funny now, but it was like siblings just going back and forth at each other. That's exactly what it felt like.
That's why I posted that.
Like
picture.
a couple of kids just roughing each other up all day. And then Mark at one point even says, how about we stop fighting? I was like, that also sounds like the other brother that's upset that the two brothers are fighting.
And as is tradition, as is typical, fell on deaf ears. They kept going.
It did. Honestly, it just got swallowed
I didn't even see that message.
No, it just got swallowed up in this tornado.
It's like when you're in like you see like a brawl happening, like the bench is clear and people are trying to hold people back, and you're like, all right, okay, and then you run around them just to get back at the person. That's what it felt like.
It was like that. Yeah.
That's what it felt like. That's what you did.
That's what you did.
That's what it was.
I felt myself coming back to the fight, even though I said it was over. It wasn't.
Oh no, it wasn't over. There was neither was backing down today.
That's why I posted that GIF of from The Simpsons where Bart and Lisa go to fight each other, but they're like throwing kicks and punches and not hitting each other at all. That's what that felt like. It's just completely useless. Yeah. But we're throwing punches.
So I realized what I have to do. I have to not wear my watch on days where, like, I have to judge based on the messages early on whether I want to wear the watch or not, if it's even worth it.
If it's recording day, look out.
If it's recording day, that's gonna be a no watch day from here on out.
Anytime we have to make decisions is really.
I will get back in contact 30 minutes before we go on air.
It's fair.
Fair enough.
That's fair.
That is fair.
Well, my apologies.
So, anyways, who else has a grievance? I just assumed that Patrick and Lucas would, like to take this opportunity to continue what they started earlier.
No, I don't have a grievance right now.
I think those grievances need to have a pin put in them because
put a pin in it.
I'm not ready.
And the worst part is there's no solution.
Discuss it.
You guys are going to be you. You're going to do it. I'm going to be me. I'm going to get aggravated by it sometimes. It's just that's the aggravating thing, really.
And I'm going to be mean. I'm going to try to stop it. And nothing
happens.
happens.
Mark is always like, he might as well just have a referee shirt on in there.
All right, everybody, I want a good, clean
striped shirt. Let's he's just trying to keep shots above the belt.
Well, Ronnie, for what it's worth on your part, I will try to just whatever this is. I can't think of the word, so I'm just doing the motion. I'll try to calm it down, cool it down, so that your watch won't blow up.
Heavy emphasis.
I will just take my watch off
my
if
apologies.
I see it coming, so you don't even have to do that.
Fair enough.
You're like, all right. At Ronnie, take your watch off. It's about to go down.
Ronnie, that's what we'll do.
Watch is off, boys.
At Ronnie, no watch time. Like,
I don't know.
It's like earmuffs. It's like, okay, hands over your ears.
Then I was like, is there a way just to turn off my watch for these notifications specifically? And I was like, this is way too technical for something like that I want to get into today,
I don't know. I mean, I will, on a side note, the whole thing with notifications, I do a minimum notifications. Like I have my notifications pop up, but they don't tell me they're notifying me. The few times I turn on the sound or the vibration on my phone is when Mindy is at the grocery store and I know she's going to be like, I can't find this. Is there a replacement or what do you need to get? But most of the time I have mine on silence and I just check it every 10, 15 minutes. And
the watch is perfect.
Doesn't
so you
bug
keep
me.
your phone on silence, like on silent all the time. That's what I pretty much do. My phone is rarely ever up. My alarm still goes off in silent. Like it doesn't matter. So my watch is usually like the catch all for everything. And I can usually take a quick.
Your alarm's silent? Like how do you
No, my alarm still goes off even when my phone is silent. The alarm still goes off.
I see what you mean.
That way people can't, like I couldn't get like a random call in the middle of the night or something like that.
Yeah.
Or a GIF war, that just happens out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, that's pretty much it though.
All right. Thanks for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. I believe in transparency.
Yeah, that's good. It's good. I'm going to put a pin in my transparency, so.
Yeah, I'll take it out here soon.
It'll come out tomorrow as soon as one of you guys crosses the other one.
I'll put it back, and then I'll take it out when I'm ready, because you don't tell me what to do.
All right.
Calm down.
Yeah, see? This is what it is.
Ronnie, anything else you want to...
But to be fair, Mark, what I've done now is I've just united them. They're a united front now.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Ronnie.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you want to pass the baton, or do you want me to pass it?
Who really wants it? Who really wants it?
You should probably
That's
pass it
I
to
want to
Patrick.
give it. Patrick really wants it.
Oh yeah, I can take it.
He's got it.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah. So on the life front this past week, big thing happened this past week on the life front.
Big time.
Traveled to Franklin, Tennessee for the
Yeah.
Married to the Games episode 500 live event. And this wasn't just just to see the live event. It was a weekend. You know, I traveled down to Franklin, Tennessee. It was about a 4.5 hour drive. Get down there. It's Friday afternoon, about 1 o'clock, you know, hanging out with so many different people from the, you know, Good Morning Guys community, our joiners, and the Married to the Games community. So many people. There was too many people to name. However, I'm going to try. First, let's see. I wrote some of them down. Hopefully I get them all, but there's like, I think like maybe 50, 60, 70 people went down there. Not all of them were part of the community. There were some significant others. There were newborn babies. There were friends and family of the joiners and listeners to both podcasts. We had Tim Pollen was down there. I met him for the first time.
Yeah, Timmy.
Zord Lucor, met him. Spencer Stapleton, Caleb from the Mountain Nerds podcast, met him. Let's see who else. Lem from Bad Gamer Elite fame. Yep. Old Man Guido, Shep Dog, and let's see, I don't know who else. Bernabe, last but not least. I'm going to say Bernabe.
Oh, Bernabe.
It was the second time I've met him. I met him at Married to the Games episode 300 4 years ago. So yeah, it was a fantastic day on Friday. We had some food. We went bowling. Saturday we had breakfast. Went to several different, you know, like used video game stores and comic book shops. So that was always, it's always fun to go when you're going places, to go to those places. Then Saturday night we had the episode 500 live event, which was at a theater this time. Last time we went, it was just in a big, huge like warehouse room. This time it was just like a theater. It looked like I don't know, like a comedy club kind of thing, but it was like stadium style seating. So that was pretty fun. We had food, we had drinks, great time. And then Sunday morning we got up, had some breakfast at a local coffee establishment called the Frothy Monkey. And yeah, it was so awesome to see so many people have like the same interests, whether it is, you know, because on our podcast we talk about life and games amidst the other games we love to watch and play. Married to the Games is all about, you know, kids and wives and 9-to-5s, and they're still married to the games. So many people just wanted to chat about video games and chat about life. It was awesome, really awesome. It was sad that, you know, it was only 3 days, you know, a little less than 3 days. Sad that the weekend ended. Weekend ended way too soon. And a lot of us are looking forward to meeting up, you know, in a couple of years at episode 600. So yeah, really, really fun. I saw Marc there, of course, indeed. I'm sure Marc will talk about his experiences and things like that while we were down there. But yeah, it was a blast. You know, like it was a second trip I've made in the past month. You know, last month made a trip down to Brazil to see Lucas, and now I made a trip down to Tennessee to see a lot of people that I haven't seen in a while, some new fresh faces that, you know, I've only met on the internet or playing video games. You know, it was just really fun to see and to watch and to hang out. On the movie TV style front, still working on F1. See the Drive to Survive on Netflix. I'm on season 3 right now. I think I'm on episode 7. There's 10 episodes per season. Episode 7 on season 3. So that's still fun to watch. I found out that there was a F1 race over the weekend, and it started because because they travel all over the world and in their races. The race was somewhere across the world, and it started at midnight our time. And so I was just like, well, I'm not watching that, because I wanted to watch it would have been my first live race, and I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to wait until it's a little bit closer to real normal hours. So I've been doing that. On the game front, still working through WWE 2K22 and the My Faction. There is one trophy I'm going for, and that's to get all the lifetime challenges in My Faction. And I've gotten every single lifetime challenge except one. The last one is I need to do like 84 daily challenges, and there's only 3 daily challenges per day. And some days I don't get to it, especially on when I was traveling, wasn't able to do that. But I try to get in there as much as I can. Right now I have like 9 or 10 daily challenges left, so I got like 3-4 days left to do. And I'll have that trophy, and then I'll be able to get out of My Faction and do the other modes. I looked online, and these lifetime challenges are hard because you have to win like on legendary difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty. And it's really stupid because like the opponents just reverse almost everything you do, and the only way that you can win is to reverse what they do, and it's really, really difficult. So I can see like why not a lot of people have gotten this trophy. But I looked online, and only 41 people have gotten this lifetime challenge trophy so far. And the first one to do it was like on April 4th. So it's been a couple weeks since the first person's got it. So I'm sure that number will rise, but I don't think a lot of people are going to go through that.
That is a small number.
It is 41. Yeah, very small number. So we're gonna be working on that, and once I do that, then I'll go to the other modes. Sweet. I did boot up MLB The Show 22 because it's free on Game Pass, and I put in like a lot of hours last year into Road to the Show, and so I booted it up, and I noticed immediately that the commentary was different. Matt Vasgersian is no longer the main commentator. He's no longer in the game. They have a whole new set of commentators. And so I'm like, oh, sweet, because I like the commentating. When I'm playing, sports games, I like the commentators and what they say about plays and things like that. And so I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. So I played about 3 innings, and I'm like, well, this is the exact same game, except new rosters and a new commentary. Almost the exact same game. Yeah. So I was like, I put so many hours into this, and I was like, this isn't different enough for me to continue on. But I played the game. I continued to play the game, and the commentating, even though it is a different different crew of commentators, they say all the same lines that Matt Vasgersian said last season. And I'm like, this isn't different enough.
This is a reskin is what this is.
Yep. Definitely. It felt like a reskin for sure. So I just finished that game. I was like, okay, I got enough out of it, and I deleted it off my system. I was like,
that is the tough thing with sports games, though. Like just growing up, like playing a lot of Madden games, like Madden was like that. If you play in back-to-back years, like there was a few years where they had a big change, but it would be like the same game with new rosters. And eventually you just get to a point where you're like, like I probably won't download the show since you said it's the same thing. Like I didn't get a ton of fire from it last time. So
what I don't understand is like, why don't you just release a game every 2 years and find a reason to actually update the game and just put out the rosters as DLC?
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally with you on that. That's the way I think sports games should be.
And they make more money the other way.
Yeah, and because they only have like an 8-month turnaround, so they put out the game. They have like 4 months of like in-season updates and patches and things like that, and then they start the work on the next game. and that's why there's not a lot of changes with sports games. If you get, instead of 8 months, if you give them 20 months to put something together, I'm sure there's going to be a lot bigger upgrades. Like WWE 2K22, they didn't do a 2K21. They had 2 years to actually put together a good game, and it's really good. The upgrades are drastically different, and it's amazing. And hopefully, I don't think they're going to do that with sports games, because Madden is the #1 seller almost every single year.
Yeah.
So they're going to continue to churn them out as long as people buy them.
Mm-hmm.
I actually haven't played one in probably, I bet it's been 10 years since I've played a new Madden game.
Yeah.
So I've actually set myself up really good for the next one to be way different.
Yeah.
For sure.
The new Madden 22 came out on Game Pass, so
Plus
you can actually check that out.
It's gonna have the mayor of Cincinnati in there.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, shiesty.
Shiesty.
So yeah, I say same thing. I bought Madden maybe 3 or 4 years in a row, and there were some changes, some serious changes. They put in story modes 2 seasons in a row. And then there was the next season they did a franchise mode, which they took another story, and it was pretty cool. And then it was the Madden 2022 was just, it was the same. So I was like, you know what? Because they EA on Game Pass, they give you the 10-hour free trial. So I tried it, and I was like, this is the same game. I don't need to buy this like I've done in the past. Yeah. So and the last game that I played is crazy. So I know earlier today, Lucas was like, hey, how about you put down Apex? And then I might have just put down Apex.
Dun dun dun.
Wait a second. You need to give details. Just as, I put down Apex. How do you really put down a game that's digital and on your system? Did you delete it?
Sure, that's a very good question. No, I haven't deleted it.
Well, then you didn't put it down.
I have enough space on there.
Fake news.
I actually started playing Fortnite.
Ta-da!
And
all right.
So a lot of people that I know, a lot of friends have been playing Fortnite for quite some time. And I just don't like the building. And it was just a mechanic of a game that I didn't really care for. And that's why I liked Apex. And Fortnite comes out with a mode that you do not build. You don't have the ability to build. The button that builds no longer works. So I was like, okay, let me go ahead and try it out. And because I haven't played this game in quite some time, they have made some changes to the game to where the quality of life of the game is so much better. You can now run. There was no run before, or sprint before, so now you have a run button, but it's you have a stamina meter, so you can't just run the entire time. So it has a little strategy and mechanic to it. That was new. You can now climb like you can in Apex, which is fantastic. I can use my Superman skin that I got a while back, which is pretty cool. And you don't need to build. And one of the greatest mechanics in Apex is you can run and slide. It's an awesome mechanic in a battle royale. And Fortnite finally added the slide button. And so not only is it very similar now to Apex, I have way more friends that play Fortnite. So I'll probably be playing Fortnite for some time to come. And Justin has been my Apex buddy for the past 3 years, almost 3 years. And he's not happy. He's not happy at all that I am moving over to Fortnite. But he said that he'll try it because it does feel different. It does feel different enough. And the changes that they made are amazing.
He said he would try it, and he did.
And he did. And he jumps on and last night, and we get a couple wins. So it's always good when you try something and you actually succeed at it. And so that kind of ups the fun factor a little bit. So I'm going to continue to play Fortnite, which I never thought I would say.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And that is it for me. Mark Aurelius McLean.
Indeed. McLean.
Marc Boucher. Lay it on us.
What's up, man?
Yeah, so there might be a little bit of rinse and repeat because obviously I was at the same thing that Patrick was at. Of course, I as well. Kristen and I both came down to Franklin, Tennessee for Married to the Games episode 500 for their event weekend.
Kristen!
I will tell her you said that. And obviously from the get-go, it was like family reunion time. It was like right from the jump, just seeing a bunch of faces that, been seeing over the internet and on games for the past, 2 years. Finally get to see them in person and hang out and just have a good time and catch up and everything. It was a lot of fun. Got to see like Spencer Stapleton from Fort of Nerd, obviously Caleb from Mountain Nerds. We caught him at a later time. Obviously we talked about Tim Pollen and Lem and Bernabe and met several other guys from that community. And man, it's just so good being around all those people. And just how excited and passionate they are for gaming and for the show and for the guys that put on the show. Just like from the moment that they started up the theme song and Gabe comes out and he starts going into his intro, like he stopped for a moment because everybody else was just doing it for him at that point. We went for it. That's how excited people were for it. And it was a lot of fun. It was great to catch up with people. So I told you I would share this. We've talked about it on Twitter a little bit. So I know Gabe and the guys, they had talked about, Toby was going to be Toby Mac, if you don't know who I'm referring to, who's Gabe's boss, was going to be gone this past weekend because he goes to the Masters every year and checks that out. So I was like, oh, okay. And I talked to Kristen about like, yeah, there might be a possibility that Toby will be there. And then I heard Gabe say that, and I was like, oh, okay, well, it is what it is. So, we go to the show and everything. It's like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. We're getting ready to wind down and leave the venue, and I come through the doors and I'm walking by. I see somebody talking to Tim Router, and I didn't think anything of it at first, and then I got a second glance. I'm like, oh, Toby's here. So he's sitting there talking to Tim for a while. He's talking to a few other guys, and I just sort of moseyed my way over there. And started talking, and he's like, hey, I'm Toby, and I was like, yeah, I'm Mark. We've actually met a couple of times because I'm the guy from Liberty, and he's like, oh yeah, with Gabe, yeah. I'm like, yeah, and so, I mentioned on Twitter, like, have you ever had like this moment where you've made a fool out of yourself in front of somebody important or like a celebrity or something like that? And that's what I felt like happened with me and Toby Mac. Now it wasn't anything like overly dramatic and grandiose, but like I walked away from that conversation feeling like an idiot just because of the way that he looked at me.
I had the same kind of a similar reaction, a similar not altercation. That was a weird way to say it. A similar interaction, not altercation. An altercation with him. No, I had an interaction with him. It was after the show. It was maybe a half hour to an hour after the show, and I had a few drinks, and I was getting selfies with everyone, and giving hugs. And I walked past a guy I hadn't seen yet for, that night, and I give him a high five, and I walk past, and then I do a double take, and I'm like, well, wait a second, I just gave a high five to Toby Mac, and I was like, hey. So I got a picture with him, but it was just like, I didn't realize who you were. I'm sorry.
And he's like, I didn't realize who you were either. So no worries.
Exactly. All good.
So what happened was, we started talking, and I mentioned, I was the guy from Liberty, and he's like, oh yeah, I know, and he asks me, how was the weekend? And in my mind, we had just talked about Liberty a second ago, and so Liberty has this thing called College for a Weekend that they do a couple times a semester, where they invite high school students who are prospective college students to check out the university, stay on the campus. There's all sorts of activities that goes on, all that kind of stuff. And so, having just talked about Liberty, he said, how was the weekend? And my mind immediately went to College for a Weekend. And I was like, oh, no, man.
Woo!
No, man, we cut out of there before that started. And he gave me this, like, what the heck are you talking about kind of look. Like this, like,
what?
and it took me a second. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't even know what I'm talking about here. The weekend was great.
That's when you take your headphones off. You're like, all right, everybody.
Yep. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
And yeah, so we started talking about, and even after that, like, what I should have been talking about is all the stuff we did this weekend with the Married to the Games thing. What I did talk about was the Airbnb that we stayed at.
All the interesting stuff.
Yeah. Which, I mean, to be fair, the place where we stayed at was a very nice, like, old farmhouse from like the 1860s, and it's huge. And it was this super nice elderly couple that runs the Airbnb and everything, and it was just super nice to be at. And so that was just me kind of initiating the start of the weekend. Like, that's where it started, and I was going to try to go through the rest of it, but we didn't make it that far. So it's just he's asking about the Married to the Game stuff, and I'm talking about Airbnb.
Let me tell you about these bathrooms. They had these toilets.
They are so strong.
I could see myself in the seats. My reflection. It was so cool. I've never seen that before.
So
he's like, I got to get out of here. This
What?
guy's talking about his Airbnb.
Now, interestingly enough, he did say, like, hey, you know what? You guys got to hit me up next time you're here, because I have an Airbnb. And he's like, now, granted, where it's at, it's a little bit more on the pricey side, but man, hit me up when you guys come by. I'm like, cool, awesome. I wouldn't mind staying in Toby's Airbnb. I don't know how much it is. I hope it's not too much on the wallet, but
$2,000 a night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I just like for the next hour to 2 hours after we left, I was like, dude, you are an idiot. Why are you talking like that? What were you thinking? But I mean, it's no big deal, and I'm sure the next time I see Toby, he will have forgotten all about it. So no worries. Wipe the
That's probably true. It's no offense against anyone. There's just no way a human being can remember that many faces and that many things. I can't imagine how many people he meets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a year. It's
Right.
like, and says, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Like this, he's like, I got these phrases I use. Like, even because the show was on a Saturday night, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So like to say, how was the weekend? There's still Sunday. So I could see how it could throw you off a little bit and just be like,
You're like,
Liberty's
"Yeah,
weekend?
I mean, I like the Weekend. They have a pretty cool song. I mean, I
The
like
band?
them. They're-
Yeah, that's what I like when he said that. That's the first thing I thought of was like, oh, did you go to the concert? Like, did you go see the Weekend?
He cut out there too before it started.
How's
Oh,
the
it just
Weeknd?
cut out. I don't
Well-
really. They don't got that kind of. I don't like their beat.
I
That
can't
would've been
feel my
awesome if
face,
It would have been awesome if you'd have been like, oh man, I love that guy. I love his music. Like when he asked you about the weekend.
You're like, yeah, me too. Me too.
But yeah, all that aside, it was awesome to be able to spend time with all those guys, including the podcast guys. Super proud of the MTTG crew for 500 episodes,
No doubt.
500 consistent weeks. of recording. We went out to a couple of places like Merides on Saturday, which their food is fantastic, and then of course the Frothy Monkey on Sunday.
Mhm.
I had to listen to Spencer Stapleton the entire weekend, razzing
sorry.
me about his dead dad.
Oh my gosh, yes, he did.
As soon as I saw him, so interjection here, at this whole weekend of the Married to the Games Centennial 500, I was trying my darndest while I was on, the mission field in the Northeast, like terrible internet, terrible connection with my cell phone, and I was like, I gotta get like connected digitally, FaceTime, Zoom, whatever. And Patrick was my main in for this, and we were coming up like strike. Like he would call me, I couldn't answer. I would call him. He would send me a voicemail saying, "Dude, get on the phone."
Yeah,
And
answer your
it was
phone.
just, yeah. And so like I finally have like what I know is going to be like a good hour free, and I automatically I'm calling Patrick. It's probably lunchtime. I don't care. And Patrick answers the phone, and I'm pretty sure you were chewing something. It was lunch. You were at a restaurant. I was like, I don't care. I'm saying hi to people. And Patrick's just like, hey, man, what's going on? I'm going to pass you down the table. And I proceed to go down like around a table of 20 or so people. And some of it was like, I know you. That's fun. Others were like, I have no idea who you are. See ya. And just, but I got to Spencer, and I immediately knew that the dead dad was going to come up. I was like, here it comes. Here it comes.
And he
I just had to
didn't
smile away.
disappoint.
No, he
bizarre
didn't.
thing.
So, yeah.
Any
Those good times.
and every opportunity that he had, he took it.
You give him out a cookie.
Yeah.
There's one point it was brought up, and Mark walked like 50 feet away. He's like, all right, good night, everybody. And he walked away. I was like, he's
He
not
just
coming
kept
back.
walking.
He's
I
not
would've-
coming back.
Had it not been for my wife walking up the street, I probably would have kept walking because that would have been awkward to walk right past her. Like she's like, "Where are you going?" But no, it was a lot of fun, and obviously I know Spencer's joking and he's just messing with me, but they're all great guys. Love hanging out with them.
For
Getting to know
those
them
that
better.
don't know what we're talking about, bring us back to why was Spencer making fun of a dead dad?
Oh, Leah, let's talk about it, shall we?
Making fun of a dead
pretty
dad.
sure
That sounds
it was-
so wrong.
I'm pretty
That
sure it was
sounds horrible.
episode 97.
Yeah. In fact, we confirmed it was episode 97 because we freaking listened to it in the car.
Yes, we did.
So one of these things, and I actually got it from Lucas.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Because
You can blame me. It's all good.
whenever we have a guest on, and when we want to ask, like, tell us about yourself, tell us about your life, tell us what you do, all that kind of stuff, we take that line from was it Kindergarten Cop?
Kindergarten Cop. Yep.
Where he says, "Who is your daddy and what does he do?" And so when we had Spencer on, I asked him that question,
Yeah.
and he decided to go full on joke mode and was like, "Well, that's awkward because my dad's dead, so he's not saying anything." And
Not doing anything.
Yeah.
and I didn't think that I could get any more transparent than I was. But yeah, I was white as a sheet after that happened, and he has never let it down since. So, but I know he's doing it all in jesting, so no big deal.
Yep.
But
Good thing you can take it
yes,
like a champ,
I tried.
or you can walk away.
Yeah, well, it's
Like a
mostly a
champ.
fake walking away, just for
Yeah,
dramatic effect.
But you kept going.
I was
you
committed
were
to the
walking. I was
bit.
like, oh, he's
Yeah.
not
Good
coming
work.
back.
But yeah, pretty much echoing a lot of what Pat said. It was a fantastic weekend. Funny enough, like I brought my PS5 and my my Switch. Didn't power any of them up at all. It was mainly just. I mean, I did play a little bit of Switch. Like we did some local co-op with Mario Kart 8, which was cool. But like,
When did you play that?
That was after the show when they were all out in
okay.
the lobby. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Let's go out to the lobby. Let's go out to
Yeah.
the lobby. Play some Mario Kart.
But no, it's a lot of fun getting to hang out with what feels like family. It was a big family reunion.
Yeah.
On gaming side of things, still playing through Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, having a lot of fun with that still, of course. And I, like Patrick, am
You
very
like me?
much.
I don't like Patrick.
No.
We know.
If I'm being honest today.
We know, based on your conversations today. Yes, we know.
He started it.
But just like Patrick, I am
yeah.
very much into Fortnite right now. I am very much enjoying Fortnite, and I actually feel like in many ways I'm better at it than I am at Apex. Because like there were games, even though like we only got a couple of wins, like I was getting like 8-kill games and things like that, and like actually doing well with a sniper and everything like that. And so I'm very much into it. I haven't given up.
That makes
on
games
Apex.
so much better though. Like when you're actually like pretty good, like a contributor. Like because
Yeah.
I've played games where I can't like do anything,
Yeah.
and it's absolutely zero fun.
Yep. But that's pretty much it to me, and just not having building in Fortnite is just music to my ears. And speaking of music, we're going to be talking about our favorite music tonight because we're going into our MAST Top 60. That's right, folks. We are, of course, going into the final list. It feels like it's taken forever to get here, but
Raise that mast. Get it up. Let's
raising the
go.
mast. We're setting sail. We are officially going to go down our finalized top 60. Yes, 60. Why 60, you ask? Because we decided to cut it off there. And
That is correct.
and so we're doing our top 60 favorite songs as compiled by collective scores of the four of us. And so I'm just going to jump into it. If there's something worth speaking on, I'll speak on it, and or you guys can jump in. Otherwise, I'm just kind of roll down the list.
All right.
So coming in at number 60 is Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds' Red Right Hand, which was Ronnie's pick.
Travesty. That's number 60.
Hey, at least it's on the list. It made it to the list.
That's true.
Yeah, remember, we got to give the old, little league talk. Everybody here's a winner because they're on the list.
I'm not a huge fan of the everybody gets a trophy thing.
Everybody's a winner here. Everybody's got a number,
You learn a lot
Whether
when
it's
you
60,
lose.
1, yeah.
But continuing on, right behind it, or above it, if you think about it, is Willie Nelson's I'm My Own Grandpa.
Now, to be honest, I thought this was going to be the last on the list. I seriously thought it was going to be last.
I'm going to speak honestly here. I went in to the rating of this. I started rating stuff on my return journey from the northeast of Brazil. And I was like, I think I'm going to put the grandpa song on last because I'm like, I can't like, you will not catch me walking through the house singing this song and like for my kids to hear and be like, I'm my own grandpa. Like, it's just like, it's not going to happen.
It's a catchy tune.
But I listened to it. I did all the other songs on the list.
Yeah.
I was like, there's some I don't know, some I haven't heard in a while. I'm going to listen to them all. I have some time, between flights and all that jazz. And I was like, you know what? This isn't as bad as I remember. It's not something, again, that I'm going to go sing it around the house or really thinking about. But at the same time, it's such a unique tune. And Willie Nelson does it so well. So, yeah.
It's not a mainstay of the Boucher household, but
That was a lot of explanation for number 59.
yeah.
That's the only one that
Would
I
you
think that I wanted to
expect
talk
any
about
less?
at length because it's
Yeah, well,
not last on the list. I'm surprised.
That's
nope.
fair.
Not the. It's not the driver of. Was that the one that was last in our video game? I don't remember what was our last was in the movies.
Mario Kart 64
the
movies.
Oh, the movies? Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember in the video games when it was driver. I think it was
Gotcha.
Stuntman, driver.
I
Get
thought
away?
it was Power Rangers Superpower Beatdown or whatever it was.
No, I think it was one of them car games. I think
Okay.
Getaway, driver,
Ooh, Getaway. It could have been Getaway.
Getaway. It was
Yep.
Getaway. Yeah,
Yep.
sorry. Yeah.
That needs
So.
to be remade.
It got the Getaway Award.
So moving on, number 58 is the Rolling Stones' "Play with Fire." I'm sorry, I'm just not a Mick Jagger fan. I do not like his voice, but still, it is on the list.
These bottom 10 are all going to get, hey, at least it's on the list.
I know, right?
Number 57 is Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Ohio.
Apparently, all mine are just to the bottom.
If it would have been West Virginia, I would have been higher on the list. But Ohio,
I don't think they're all at the bottom of the list. I don't think so. But let's find out. Number 56 is Mute Math's "Chaos," which it hurts, but I'm okay with it being on the list. Followed by another pick of mine, being Fleet Fox's "Mykonos" at number 55. There
was a lot on here that I have never heard before, or at least I did not recognize by name.
Yeah. Honestly, to be honest, Ronnie, a lot of the ones you picked, like I'd never heard them, and that's why they're lower.
I can understand.
So number 54, Revolution with "Fade Away." Number 53 is Katy Perry's "Firework." Number 52 is Neil Diamond's "Sweet Caroline."
Can we talk about Katy Perry's "Firework"? You really like that?
That's awesome.
You like it? Really?
It's so awesome.
Who else
It's
liked
fantastic.
it? Lucas? You
I
like
enjoy
as
it.
well?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like high up on my list, but to me, it's always going to be the Madagascar 3 song. And Madagascar
really?
3 is my favorite. It's like Madagascar 3 is up there in like top 10 realm, top 20 of animated movies. You know how I love my animated movies. And Madagascar 3, just the whole chemistry during the fireworks song when they're gelling together as a circus, like it's just a cool moment. I enjoyed it.
I think that I always think of the movie The Interview with James Franco.
Right. You do, don't you?
It's
totally different movies.
I would have probably ranked it higher if I had remembered that.
The whole movie is like centered around Katy Perry's "Fireworks" song, which is hilarious. It's Kim Jong-un singing Katy Perry's "Fireworks."
Wasn't that a movie they weren't allowed to show at some point, or it got?
It was. I don't think
it was banned.
It did not. Sure. It was one of the first.
I could see it
movies
get banned over there pretty quickly.
That did not go to theaters. It went straight to streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a hard time with the first line, like "Do you ever feel like a plastic bag?" I get where she was going with it, but it's just that line is just weird.
No, I mean we're all different. Like Katy Perry to me, like I mean, I guess I can understand like some of them are a little catchy, but like her voice doesn't just. I don't know.
It's all good.
It's not a fan.
Teach the road.
It is on the list.
Yep,
it is on the
list. That's
list.
right. It's on the list. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Katie. You did it. Number 51 is James Arthur's "Say You Won't Let Go." Number 50 is Extreme's "More Than Words."
Yeah. My contribution. Woo.
Boom. Number 49 is Ian Dior with "Emotions." Number 48 is the Talking Heads' "Psycho Killer." And number 47 is John Mayer's "Neon." That one stings a little bit as well that it's so low, but it's all good.
I'm not a John Mayer fan.
Nah, it's all good. Number 46 is Bryan Adams' "Everything I Do It For You." Number 40.
That's right.
Number 45 is Smashing Pumpkins' "Disarm." Number 44 is The Police's "Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic." Number
I mean, that's a good song.
Yeah.
I don't.
Of course it is. It's on the list, Patrick.
Well,
Hey!
it is.
Course.
What number was it again?
44.
44. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question seriously though. All the songs you gave on the list, are they legitimately like songs that you listen to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because mine really aren't. Like when I listen to music, I guess I listen to like a lot of different music, so it's just like all of you.
Yeah. A lot of the ones that are on this list are the ones that are either. I mean, if I sing them on a very frequent basis, they're on the list. Like one of the things that I was looking through this list, I'm like, Wow, we don't have any Michael Jackson songs on here.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That is
that's
wild.
True.
There's
That's
some
so
bangers
wild.
too.
There's
It's a
some,
travesty.
Billie Jean and Thriller. Like, how are
There
those?
are some bangers.
Insane that those are not on here. If it went to top 100, I think those would probably be
It probably would have
in the top 60. I think they would be, if we kept going. But that's, I mean, like, most of these songs are sung in my household or in my head a lot.
Yeah.
That's how it made the list.
Yeah. Oh no, I was just gonna say, to add to that, just the idea of, for a lot of these songs, as I was looking through them, at some point I just was like, I'm just gonna give it a number. I don't like a lot of these songs, even some of the ones I hadn't heard before or I hadn't listened to in a while. I was like, you ask me a year from now and it's gonna be shuffled. Like,
Sure.
There's a good bit of music here, and honestly, for me, I do listen to the songs I mentioned, but a lot of the reason I think it's a quote unquote good song is the memory that I can't detach from the song. Like my experience, my ability to sing along with it, like all of it all plays into making it a really good song. And then someone, neutral hears it and they're just like, meh. And I'm like, are you kidding? I had my first kiss with my wife with that song. So of course it's amazing. So it's hard to not, for me, it's hard to separate that and just look at the song and be like, oh, it's a good song. It's well done. It stands the test of time, whatever.
Right.
But
Indeed. Mm-hmm. So coming in at number 43 is Elton John's Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
Yeah. That's my contribution. I sang that during high school at a voice recital.
Nice.
And it was magical. I wish
Wish
someone had a cell phone. I know, I really do. Because looking back at it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? Why did I let my voice teacher talk me into singing that? Like, if I really could go back in time, I would have dressed up like Elton John and like just totally hammed it up and be like, can you feel the love tonight? Like, try to sing it like him.
That's dangerous, saying you'll dress up like Elton John, because Elton John.
Oh. In West Virginia, that was very dangerous. Back in the 90s, I would have gotten chased by people with clubs.
Whoa.
Wow.
West Virginia, my friend, you got to watch out.
West Virginia.
Well, don't dress up like Elton John and go there.
That's fair. Rules to live by.
Is it? That does not sound fair to me.
That's fair.
I mean, don't dress up like Elton John. I mean...
in West Virginia in the 90s.
Yeah,
so
I'm definitely not going to do that.
If you get in a time machine and you visit West Virginia to say hi to me, don't be dressed like Elton John. Be like, Lucas, I have a message from the future. And I'm going to be like, get a stick, attack him. Beat that man. He's dressed like Elton John.
If I have one thing to tell you, this is it. Are you in the future? Just trust me.
Goodness. All right.
Yep.
Continuing on with number 42 is Lifehouse's Hourglass, which I totally understand why it's low, just because I'm sure the three of you guys have probably never heard it until now. But
I had heard it, but
had you? Okay.
It was...
Yeah, I've heard it for sure.
It was honestly, sometimes depending on it's funny, there are a number of songs that you guys brought up from different bands that I'd be like, I wouldn't pick that song. I'd pick this song or whatever, so it's hard to look at like a Lifehouse song that wasn't high on my list and then not think about the songs that are higher. And then it kind of almost makes the song go lower just in terms of my mindset, so.
Well, it means something to me because it was the song that Kristen and I did our first dance to at our wedding.
Nice.
So.
Now, see, if you would have led with that, I might have...
I feel like a jerk now for probably ranking it really low.
I would have notched it up.
I was getting to that part. So coming at number 41 is Norah Jones' Come Away With Me. Solid. Number 40 is DC Talk's Jesus Freak.
Hey-oh.
Number 39, a classic karaoke staple, Journey's Don't Stop Believing. Number 30.
That is, I want to say, possibly the most hated song by me.
Really?
Oh, really?
I
didn't know that.
cannot stand that song. I
What's
don't
the
know what it
problem
is about it. I just don't like it.
Is it
I don't even
whoa-whoa?
I don't even like that people get really excited when it comes on. Or I guess that's just the cranky old man that I've turned into. But I literally like something about that song. Like I just have never liked it.
Bummer for you.
Fair enough.
Number 38 with his Faces with Ooh La La.
Hey, I want to say a quick note about that one. This was one of the songs that I put in the search, to listen to it. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm getting into. And then I listened to the song. I'm like, oh, I know this song.
Yeah.
I had no idea the name of the song or the name of the band. I was like, oh, this is the I Wish I Knew What I Knew Now song.
Yeah.
Of course. Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
number 37, Saving Earth from the Asteroid is Aerosmith with Don't Wanna Miss a Thing.
yeah, the Animal Cracker song.
So awkward.
Here's a little animal going across the belly button. What the heck are we watching right now?
Cinema. That's what we're watching.
Yeah.
Number 36 is Oasis's Don't Look Back in Anger. Love me some Oasis.
Yep.
Number 35 is The Doors' Riders on the Storm. Number 34 is Trivium's Silence in the Snow.
Wow, 34. I didn't think it was going to be that high. Wow.
This one caught me by surprise.
Yeah.
I listened to it and I was like, man, this is like, I got Guitar Hero vibes when I listened to the song. And I was like, I would press the blue, green, yellow, all those buttons. I would shred the crap out of this song if I had it when I played Guitar Hero. I don't play that now. I hurt my wrist playing the last time, so I had to give it up. But yeah.
I would shred the crap out of this game. Lucas Ham Swisher.
Shred the crap out of it. Just all over, hit the fan, just everywhere.
And moving
Put it on the box.
Put that on the box. Yeah. No, I really did like the song though. It was
nice.
It was good. It was a good rocking song. So
cool.
All right. Number 33 is the song Never Enough from the Greatest Showman soundtrack. Number 30.
So many good songs on the Greatest Showman soundtrack. Yeah. So many good songs.
I like to call that the home wrecker song.
Number 32 is...
That's fair.
It is a good one, though.
Number 32 is Carl Douglas's Kung Fu Fighting. Followed by number 31, Ram Jam with Black Betty.
No, Black Betty. Bam, a lamb.
Ram, damn, damn.
I went camping with some buddies back in college. This was like, 15, 20 years ago. And we were on our way back and we're listening to the radio and this song came on. And we both were like, this is a great song. When did this come out? We thought it just came out. Neither one of us had heard it.
The song is brand new information.
It's like, wow, we do not listen to music. What year did that come out? Like the
1800s?
Well, yeah, the original version. It's old, like a very old song, but Ram Jam's version came out in like the 70s and 80s, I think.
Yeah.
All right, jumping into the top 30 now.
Here we go. This is when it gets spicy.
Is Horatio Spafford or Spayford, however that's said. and
Ira Sankey.
And Ira Sankey, It Is Well With My Soul.
Amen, hallelujah.
Followed up pretty closely by Revelation Song from Jenny Lee Riddle.
Look at that. Peanut butter and jelly right there.
Speaking of not peanut butter and jelly, but here we go anyway. Number 28 is John Denver's Take Me Home Country Roads.
How is that not Almost Heaven, West Virginia? Yeah, that's like the bread to the jelly and the jam. It made like a gospel sandwich.
You can't even dress like Elton John in West Virginia?
No, but people still love Jesus.
You can dress like John Denver.
And it's almost heaven.
You can dress like John Denver.
That's right. You can't dress like John Denver. He is he's a special man in West Virginia.
Indeed.
It's a good one. That's my personal anthem theme song. When I return,
you can never hear John Denver without thinking of where they mention him in Dumb and Dumber. I thought the Rockies would be a little rockier than this. I don't want to say the next part, but we all know what it is.
Yep.
Yeah, we know.
So anyway, Joan Jett Sign Love Rock and Roll is number 27.
That's right. Number one when I was born.
That is a great song, though.
That's good.
It is.
Followed up by one of my favorite 80s songs, Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World at number 26. The Disco Anthem of a Decade is Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive at number 25.
Oh, we're in the top 25. Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
Look out.
Number 24 is George Harrison's Got My Mind Set on You. Number 23 is Hosier's Take Me to Church. Number 22 is Switchfoot's Meant to Live. Number 21 is The Verb with Bittersweet Symphony. Entering the top 20 now.
Top 20.
Here we go. Lay it on us.
We're going to go out there and go on car chases and gasoline fights with Wham's Wake Me Up Before You Go.
It's a good one.
Indeed. Number 19 is Eye of the Storm from Ryan Stevenson and our buddy Gabe Patillo.
That's right, Gabriel.
Yeah.
Number 18 is one of my favorite 90s songs, The Wallflowers' One Headlight. Coming in at number 17 is The Police's Message in a Bottle. Number 16 would be the Fugees, their cover of Roberta Flack's Killing Me Softly.
Yeah.
Number 15, Paddle Like This One, Nirvana's version of The Man Who Sold the World.
Nice.
Yep. Number 14 is Simon and Garfunkel's The Sound of Silence.
Hello, Darkness, my old friend.
That is a great song, too.
Mm-hmm. Such a chill song.
Number 13, it's a Christmas song, is Trans-Siberian Orchestra's Christmas Eve
I
Serenade.
wanna buy these.
Oh, man. How was that in the song?
How's that? Yeah,
one of
we
our
were supposed
honorable
to do
mentions.
that. I think that one was when we were going to do 100 songs and we were going to make that number 100. And then we bailed early. So it got left in the dust.
We should just have an episode where we only play that song and we don't actually say anything, but we don't tell anybody.
So number 12 is Soft
Moving on.
Cell's Tainted Love.
Nice.
Number 11 is the Beatles' Eleanor Rigby. Entering into the top 10 now.
Top
All right,
10.
we got to say some stuff. We got top 10. We need really to put some
Top
heart
10.
into this.
We got to talk
Kind
about
of
them.
we breezed by 20 through 19 or 20 through 19. That's two songs. 20 through 11. So top 10.
Breezed by two songs.
Yep, we breezed right by it.
All right.
All right, lay it on us, Marcus.
Number 10 is Guns N' Roses' Welcome to the Jungle.
All
right, let me be the
way
first to
that
say-
song starts. Oh,
All right, you go
sorry.
ahead.
I was the first
Nope.
to say. The way that song starts gets me so excited. It is the song that is played before every single Cincinnati Bengals game, right before the kickoff, and that's how the game starts.
Get you
And
fired up.
It gets you fired up every single time it's on, and it is so good. Yeah.
All right, let me be the second to say that this song was the first song I can remember listening to so much on a cassette tape, no less, to the point where the insides of the cassette tape ripped out. Like, we had listened to it, me and my next door neighbor, we listened to that song in particular, but the whole Guns N' Roses album. I don't remember if it was called Welcome to the Jungle or what the title of the album was, but we listened to that thing so much. I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
I believe you. If anybody's going to know the title, it's you. But I remember we listened to it and it went like, at one point it was like, and you take it out and yeah, it was guts everywhere. It was like someone just cut it out. It was like the end of Braveheart. And we were just like, no. Sad day that was. But what a great song. Classic.
All right. And coming in at number 9 is Weird Al Yankovic's Amish Paradise.
Wow.
Yes.
I'll never forget the video to that song.
Never.
That video just plays in my head when I think of the song.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I memorized that song in middle school just because my friend and I were just Weird Al. We weren't super fans, like we never went to a concert, but we just loved the quirkiness. Like there are a number of songs, if I had more picks and we had a longer list, I would add them on. One of them is Since You've Been Gone, which is an a cappella song.
One thing you don't think about with this song,
hilarious.
Amish Paradise, is you had to actually kind of live through that time, because also Gangster's Paradise by Coolio was not big for that like long. You know what I mean? Like it was a big hit, but for a short amount of time. I feel like
Was it a flash in the pan?
it was a flash in the pan. Yes.
But yeah, I memorized that song in middle school, and I've still never forgotten the words. I can still sing the whole thing
Samesies.
without missing a beat. Me and Mark, you and I, one of these days, we got to do a duet.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
I get to be the local boy that kicks you in the butt that week.
I'll
And
just
then you
smile
can
at you
smile
and
at
turn
me.
the other cheek.
That's right. You won't really care. In fact, you'll wish me well.
I won't be saying the next lyric.
Dag. I thought maybe I trapped you.
Nope.
That's good that you didn't. That was a test. You passed it. Okay. Next.
So coming in at number 8 is the Beatles' "Hey Jude," classic Beatles song.
That is good. That's a good spot for it.
Yeah.
Number 7, Ronnie. See, they're not all at the bottom. Is "Over the Rainbow" / "Wonderful World."
Another chill
Yeah.
song.
Solid
That's good.
song. Number 6 is another of my favorite 80s songs. Is "Take on Me" from Aha. Just anytime this song comes on, I just
The best version is when Chris Kattan sings it in Corky Romano. If you haven't seen that, if you haven't seen that scene, I will link it, and you need to watch it. It is.
Link it.
When I say it's the best, it's the worst.
I thought you were going to
Fair
say
enough.
the Family Guy's version of this.
Yeah,
where,
that's what
like,
I was
Chris
gonna
gets trapped
say.
in the music video or whatever.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah.
also that's. So I was talking about the worst, which is from Corky Romano. It's also the best. It's the worst.
I love that Family Guy one where he gets trapped in the video while he's at the grocery store and then he falls out of one of the freezers. And Lois is like, "Chris, where have you been?" He's like, "I have no idea." All right. At number 5 is
Top 5.
Woo! Here we go.
Is
Drum roll.
Johnny Cash's "Folsom Prison Blues." I can't talk.
Bruise.
That's a whole different song.
Nice. That's
a
that
whole
high.
difference.
Wow. Nice.
Number 4 is Queen's.
Whoa! You gonna say anything about Johnny Cash? Nothing. Anyone? Who picked
Man
that
in
song?
Black.
That was me. That was me.
Yep. That was
I want to
Pat's
say I like that song more because I watched the biopic with Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, so
Such a
it
good
made
movie.
me
That
was good.
appreciate Johnny Cash so much more after
Yeah.
watching
For
that.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Number 4 is Ronnie's pick.
I was like, that's a song.
Yep.
We
This is
picked
the
a song,
one
a
I've been
song
waiting
about
for. I
Ronnie.
think this was my number 1.
Yeah. Is Queen's "Another One Bites the Dust"?
Oh no, that wasn't it.
Nope.
that
Oh,
wasn't your number
wow.
one.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I
very
do.
good.
I mean, that's a great song though. Like
Very
you can't
good.
not like just like bounce your leg when this song comes on though. Like it's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you this: neither my pick and one of my picks or one of Lucas's picks made the top 5.
Ouch.
Oh.
All Pat's and Ronnie's picks.
I know one that's still coming,
That's
and
fair.
I think everybody can appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 3 is Pat's pick with Survivor's "Eye of the Tiger."
Mm.
Yep.
Get you fired up.
Nothing gets you more pumped to punch someone in the face.
Just want to run up a set of
Eye of the
stairs, you know.
tiger. Yeah. Run up some stairs and punch someone. Love it.
Number 2 is Ronnie's pick with Bush's "Glycerine."
Oh no, it didn't make it.
Number 2.
Number 2, so close yet
All
so
right.
far away. Still, come on. Number 2, nothing to sneeze at.
That's a
That
great
takes me
song, though.
That
It
takes me back
is.
to middle school also. Such a good song.
And
I know I've said this before, but if you like the band Bush, they did a Rooftop album not that long ago, and it is fantastic.
there you go.
All right.
And finally, the number 1 pick on top of the MAST 60, who now has 2 songs in our top 5,
Look out.
is Queen's "Bohemian Rhapsody," and I cannot be mad at that.
Oh, yeah. 2 Queen songs. There you go.
So, that is the MAST top 60, and
Wait, are we going to say anything about... We got to say something about the number 1 song. We can't
Yes.
just brush by it. It's like, hey, there's a number 1 song. All right, folks, good night. See you later.
Have you guys seen Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie
No.
that came out a couple years ago?
bits and
I was
pieces.
going to say, I'm
Yes.
really sad I haven't seen
Yep.
it yet.
I actually thought it was really good.
Very good.
From what I understand, they took a little bit of like a little creativity
Liberties.
and added it in, but it's really good. It does like, I mean, you learn a lot about a band I would have never learned anything about probably. So
yeah, some of the actual events were out of order, but they made them out of order for the drama for the movie.
Yeah,
the things still happened. Some of the things still happened, but they were just like not
like
even
Rite Aid
close.
and stuff. Like Rite Aid, like all that actually happened.
Rite Aid, the pharmacy.
Rite Aid.
Rite Aid. I don't remember.
Yeah, what is it? What is it?
Live Aid.
Live Aid. Now that I said Rite Aid, I couldn't get past it.
They had a huge concert at the pharmacy.
I could not get past Rite Aid.
I'm just going to say this right here. Patrick, when you do the graphic for this week, I need a picture of Rite Aid that
is a good idea.
With Freddie Mercury on the front singing in front of the Rite Aid. That needs to be the graphic for the GMG60.
That was a big pharmacy concert, wasn't it?
That was the best concert ever.
That's what I was understanding.
When my dad, he got hired by Rite Aid at one point in my life, I was like, "Are you going to get to meet Freddie Mercury and sing with Queen?"
Not at all.
Yeah, he works at the same store.
That's right, in West Virginia, where we do not welcome Elton John. Sorry, but Freddie Mercury, we do.
There you go.
100%. I'll put my thumb too high.
Solid number one pick. And of course, go ahead.
Nope, I wasn't done. Sorry. The first time I heard the song, I feel ashamed to say this because I think it was much earlier than this, but I don't actually remember hearing the song until Wayne's World when they sing it. That's like the moment where I'm like, what is this song? And then I found the real version. And then from there, I mean, easily Queen's greatest hits. I think it's like a 2 or 3 CD album, though that dates me because who knows what
every one of them is a banger though. Like,
dude, every single one, I'm just like, all right.
And they are all bangers. Like,
they are so good. It's one of my favorite albums. So the fact that Queen is like this, they had 2 songs up here. I'm pretty sure we could have added more Queen songs. It would have bumped out some of the picks. So, oh well, better luck next time. All right. There you go.
Awesome.
And just an FYI, there is going to be an official Spotify and Apple Music playlist of the top 6.
Yeah.
All right.
You can check it out.
I'll be sharing that as well at some point. Probably, hopefully not too long after this episode comes out. I'll go ahead and share it, and you guys can check it out and listen to your heart's content. But yeah, that is the MAST 60.
There you go. Sweet. I think we have one more thing on the docket to cover and do a little spoiler cast of sorts. We're going to keep this one straight and to the point because I'm pretty sure all 4 of us have been watching that old Moon Knight. So maybe the bumper music's here?
It is.
That's right, folks. We are talking about Moon Knight Episode 2. We return to the side of Stephen, what's his last name? Grant? Which always reminds me of Alan Grant from Jurassic Park. I don't know why. I always want to think of Jurassic Park. Like, Stephen Grant, exactly. But so leaving off from the last episode, it's kind of dealing with the fallout of his little fight with the jackal coyote Egyptian rat thing, and it's very lackluster at the beginning because he's like, with the security guy, and he's like, get ready, here it comes, you watching? And it's just him running around with nothing. He
looks like a crazy man.
And I will say, at first I was a little disappointed because I was like, wait a second, this thing only he can see? So like, is this just in his head? What is going on? What did you guys think of that opening?
They do a great job as far as like the mystery goes, because they, like for somebody, especially like myself, who knows nothing about nothing when it comes to Moon Knight, it is kind of cool how they space it out like that. They just kind of give you little bits, and you're just kind of trying to piece it together on your own.
Yeah, for sure. And so what did you guys think of the second episode that pretty much, takes us from the fallout to that? We have a lot of Marc and Steven moments where they get to converse a lot, kind of give the revelation of Marc being the avatar of Khonshu and serving justice and repaying a debt of sorts. And then Steve's like, I'm going to take everything to the authorities and get all pilled up so you can't take over my body and all this stuff. And so this kind of back and forth. What did you guys think of this first half of the episode, the reveal of Khonshu, or more reveal, I guess, and the conversations with Mark and Steven? Patrick.
I thought... See, I don't know a lot of backstory with this, so I didn't understand why he could only see Khonshu, he could only see the demons, the dogs, the crazy dogs or whatever, and no one else could see them, but they're still in the world.
Yeah, because that girl like hit him or stabbed him or something.
Right, with the bottle. So I'm like, I don't understand. Like, there is the fight that happens in the street, in the bus, and like people are just standing around seeing this happen. Like, not only did his face was shown to this, people, a whole bunch of people on the bus, and then all of a sudden he turns into this, superhero kind of character, and then takes on an invisible dog. Like, why? Like, I don't I don't know enough to actually understand this.
Like why was he wearing like a white tuxedo instead of the actual uniform?
I mean, I get why he was wearing a white tuxedo, because he doesn't know what the suit is. He's like,
he literally thought of a suit.
Turned it into a suit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he turned into a psycho Colonel Sanders, as it were.
I love that,
which was pretty funny. Yeah, that was a funny line.
Yeah. So a lot of the thing about like Khonshu and Amit and all those gods is the reason why they have to take avatars is because they cannot take a physical form. And so that's why they pick somebody as their avatar. And that's why, like, if you remember the scene where Steven ends up meeting with
Harrow.
Harrow, sorry.
Harrow, sorry. Potato, Harrow, Harrow.
Something like that. Where he meets up with him and, things start moving around in the world, but, he doesn't see Khonshu. He's like, what is he doing right now? Is he saying he's going to kill me and things like that? Which, that's a big revelation that he was previously Moon Knight.
That's true.
Not a thing in the comics, but interesting story to tell. But yeah, so neither Amit or Khonshu, they can't take physical form in the actual living world, so they have to take on avatars. And their powers, where, I guess you could argue, well, you can see Moon Knight, but it's still in a physical form, I guess. But like the jackals and stuff like that, being that Steven has Khonshu in him, basically, he's able to see the jackal, whereas, any normal human beings, they see something's going on, but they can't see what it is.
Yeah.
Until she throws that bottle at him.
Right. When I was talking to Mindy about this, I kind of mentioned, and I'm spitballing it too, because like Patrick and Ronnie, I don't really know that much about it. And to me, it felt like in kind of going with where the Marvel MCU has been going, it feels like a multi-dimensional overlap thing where they can be invisible because they're not actually part of that dimension, but they're, like, I don't know, like it's just like an overlap of dimensions where they just have the ability to be invisible. So it just doesn't appear in the traditional way because of that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I personally, I love Oscar Isaac's acting in this again, just like having to go back and forth between, very timid and
yeah, two completely different people.
Yeah, timid and shy Steven, and then this, very take control kind of, American mentality with Mark Spector.
Right.
So the like in the suit Knight, like the 3-piece suit kind of Knight, that's actually a character in the comics named Mr. Knight. And that's when there's actually a point where he starts working with the police, and that's the persona that he takes on when he does that. And so
that's a cool little nod.
Yeah, so they actually deviate from the comics, and it's interesting because it makes sense, because some timid person like Stephen Grant, who has no idea what's going on, when you tell him to summon the suit, like that's what
Yeah.
you would think of.
Yeah.
That he just looks fantastic in that suit. But
Yeah, he did.
but
What's funny is he's falling. He's just like, give me the suit. I
Suit,
summoned the
suit."
suit. It was very comical.
and I think
for
it was
sure.
actually Oscar Isaac's idea to have him do the superhero landing and then just kind of fall over.
Yeah, just smack his head on the side.
Yeah, because that was
yeah.
really the first time that it was like Steven in the suit.
Yeah.
Right.
It was
Yeah, he
after
didn't.
he hit the ground, that was like very beginning.
Well, it's like, and it's the realization that he has Khonshu's powers. Like he has the powers that have been bestowed upon Mark. He has, because it's still the same body. It's just different person. So like having that mental fortitude, I guess, to utilize that energy and use it was kind of cool. Like, you know, when he's like trying to figure things out and he grabs the bumper of the car, he like squeezes the metal and it melts in his hand. And then of course he gets, you know, jacked by the jackal, but he lands a punch, you know, and even Mark's like, oh, that was a pretty good punch. And then of course he takes over and Mark's like, now let me get to business here.
Yep.
And like takes his little knives out of his chest and just like gets the jackal away.
I like when he pulls the two things out of the suit. He's like, "Well, these are cool." Like, and he's just like,
Yeah, where'd I get these?
What are these?
Yeah.
I get these little billy clubs or whatever they were. Yeah, through the episode, like you get a lot of Mark and Steven time, which I think was good. I think the kind of revelation of, you know, Mark's wife Layla and her being the next candidate to be Moon Knight, and then Mark trying to prevent that. So he's like trying to, you know, both extend and pay off his debt to prevent her from becoming Moon Knight, having that life. And then Harrow, I keep forgetting.
Arthur Harrow, yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the villain? Because they meet up in the middle of the episode and kind of like make you kind of feel like, oh, he might not be that bad of a guy. Kind of, I don't know, like working with some logic. We're just trying to prevent bad things happening. And then Stephen kind of goes through you're killing kids before they've even done anything. And
It's kind of where I draw a line there.
It's like Minority Report or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
like
the way
Amit-
Arthur, the way he responds to it, he doesn't even respond to that. He just like changes the subject. I'm like, yeah, you know that's wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a moral line you're crossing there.
Yeah.
I like.
Go
ahead.
You're muted, Ronnie. Ronnie's talking and he's muted.
Oopsies.
yeah, I was. I like how they made him. They made him seem extremely evil in like the first episode when he was like chasing him down,
Yeah.
trying to get the scarab back, and then he sat down with him, and it's like, oh, okay, he's a pretty reasonable person. And then at the end of that conversation, you're like, okay, he's not a reasonable person.
Nope.
He is actually.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in the fact that like there's this moment where you kind of start, you know, letting your guard down a little bit for him because you find out that he was the previous avatar for Khonshu. So he knows about this experience and he's able to like is he saying this? So is he saying that?
Mm-hmm.
That's, you know, his idea of justice is too late and all that kind of stuff. And so you kind of start feeling like, okay, you can warm up to this guy because he knows what's going on. And then he turns the corner again. And you're like, oh, okay, nope, we're gonna stay away from this guy.
Bad guy.
Yeah. Two critiques I want to throw out. One is actually this is a critique and also a compliment. I feel like Steven's accent got better in the second episode. The first episode, I feel like half of what Steven said, I had no idea what he was saying.
Yeah.
Like he was mumbling with some accent.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of mumbling. Mindy's like, are we supposed to understand what he's saying? I'm like, I don't know if it's important. Like
Put the subtitles on.
Yeah, just I guess but to me, I'm like, if you're making me turn the subtitles on, that's not good. But I will say though that I was really sad that they didn't keep going with the laters gators. I loved latest gators. I loved every time he said that to his mom on the phone or in whatever context. I thought that was really funny little saying. They didn't continue in episode 2, and I think it's a little strange that he says that because Amit is the Egyptian god in the shape of a crocodile or a gator. So
Yeah.
that was kind of like, I wonder if there's something there about the laters gators. But then they didn't say anything in the second episode, so
Yeah.
it's a little sad about that.
Yeah, but
I think
go ahead.
I think overall, I have one like big question that I'm waiting for it to be answered, and maybe I missed something. But so is this multiple personality thing a cause of him being Moon Knight and being the Avatar, or does he just have multiple personalities anyways?
That was the question that they actually started to bring up when Arthur Harrow is speaking with him. He's like, "Do you think Khonshu chose you because you were already broken, or because you're easy to break?"
Yeah,
that's true.
And
which leads me to believe it was multiple personalities already.
Yeah,
but
and Khonshu is bringing all of that out basically. That's what I think it is personally. Is he already had DID before?
Yeah, because Khonshu even said in talking to Marc, he said you said Steven wouldn't be a problem, and it's almost like Steven. I feel like Steven has come in terms of the multiple personalities. He's come later. It's like he's missed the first half of Marc's life, and Marc was more in control. And then Steven has almost come out later because Marc makes a comment about how he was almost dead, and then Khonshu saved his life, and Steven totally missed that. So I feel like Steven's like a later personality that's kind of filled in the gaps of the past to kind of feel like he's been alive the whole time, but he hasn't really been.
I was thinking about that too, but like, I mean, he had a job and everything, like, and then all of a sudden he started missing like 3-day periods and all this stuff or whatever. But
right.
I don't know how that it could possibly be kept up for that long.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he said that he's been Moon Knight. He's been doing that stuff for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess we'll have to watch and see.
Yeah. This honestly felt more like part 2 of a 2-parter than like its own full on episode. But I was okay. I mean, I was ultimately okay with that.
Yeah, I think they left enough.
But I'm very interested because at time of recording, it's Tuesday night, and the newest episode comes out tomorrow. So,
hey-o. Nice. Yeah, but I liked it. I'm more in now with the second episode than I was after the first one, and Mindy is too. So, if Mindy's buying in, I'm in even more. So,
I am absolutely very much on board with this. Keep it coming, Marvel.
And I'm guessing next week we'll be in Cairo because that's how they end the episode.
Yep.
Shirtless and in Cairo.
Yep.
Drinking Fireball and Dr. Pepper. Right, Patrick?
That's a good spot.
That's what I thought he had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is all for the GMG MES, whatever the letters are. Who does acronyms? Acronyms are for losers.
You do the acronyms.
That's right. GMG MAST60 is done. We are shutting the book on that. We have discussed episode 2 of Moon Knight. On to bigger, brighter, and better things. I think next week or the week after, we're going to start the GMG 40BTV SOAT, or the Good Morning Guys 40 Best TV Shows of All Time. So we're going to start laying out.
That is not the acronym
television
we're going to do.
Okay, fine. How about the GMG TTVS?
No.
GMG.
No.
I don't even remember what the T. How about GMG Goats? Greatest of all time shows.
For everybody at home, this whole conversation has already happened today.
This is what they had the gift for.
This was it. In
fact. Oh, the pin is out.
Pull the pin out. Oh, but we're running out of time. We don't want to go over 2 hours, so we're going to have to go. Now it's time for housekeeping because we're going to talk about this next week. Housekeeping? Towels, pillows, Andy's candies, and news you need to know. The GMG stream team offering content Sunday to Saturday on Twitch. Check out Chris, who's not exactly sure what's next, but he's definitely going to be playing some Arkham Knight, I think. Getting the platinum to Horizon Forbidden West, so check him out very early in the morning. Marc's playing Zelda games, of course.
That's one thing I forgot to mention. I beat Ocarina of Time on stream last Wednesday.
That's right.
And now we're going into Majora's Mask this weekend.
Oh, good old Marjorie's Mask. I love that one.
Mask.
Yes, so check out Marcus on Saturday nights, mornings, afternoons, Saturdays.
Yep.
You'll be around. Playing the Zelda games. And then I am playing and platinuming my favorite games of all time and crawling through Horizon Forbidden West. So feel free to check us out. And if you're not into streaming, you'd rather tweet on Twitter, discourse on Discord. Links are in the show notes. You can call us, by the way, 929 GMG Guys, for any questions, comments, Moon Knight feedback. Speaking of feedback, if you're the giving type, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, and Spotify. It helps us reach new joiners. Whether you want to give us stars, exclamation marks, or an encouraging word, we hope you will let your voice be heard. All right, Pat, Mark, Ronnie J, along with you, our beloved friends, family, and joiners. Go get your good morning this week, and may God bless and guide your lives as you live, as you work, and as you game.